Hey guys, sorry about that. But we're just about 5 minutes behind our schedule. So I'm going to give people just a minute to reconnect. But in the meantime, if you are with us, please go ahead and type in the chat what exercise you did. How'd it go? Did you move for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, the whole 30 minutes? Let me know. So Elliot did some basketball. I did a little basketball, but mainly I did some stretching. But most of my time, I have to say, was spent just preparing for our next segment here, which I'm really excited about. So again, I'm going to give everybody a minute to join, and then we will begin. Oh, also, bring your treasured object, your child's treasured object, to help us out with this next part. All right, Alexander, you have your treasured object? Come show us. So, Alexander, come here. His treasured object is what?
That's my stuffed animal.
His stuffed animal. And why do you love it so much?
I
don't know. Just love it. Okay. Elliot, what about your treasured object? Can you tell us about it?
This is my puppet that I made in my class.
Nice. A puppet he made in his class. Okay, great.
His name is Timmy.
Love it. So here's what we're going to do. We have our treasured objects, and my boys are going to go have a seat in their seats. Go ahead.
Go back to your seat.
And before I get to my read aloud, I am going to remind everyone of our word of the day and capital of the day. Remember, we're going to go over this a few times so you are ready for the quiz at the end. So, anybody remember? What is the capital of Montana?
I don't remember.
If you think you know, type it in. Helena, can we say that?
Helena.
You got it. All right. And the word of the day. Word of the day.
Vanilla.
Starts with a V. Viridescent. Viridescent. And what part of speech is it?
Light green.
It's an adjective.
Light green.
And it means slightly green or greenish. So remember these words. Remember this word for your quiz later. All right, here we go. So I'm going to share a story. And this story is called Owen by Kevin Hinckus. Now, before you third and fourth graders start rolling your eyes, just give me a chance, because I think you will see that you can also connect some of your experiences to Owen. So I'm going to read the story, and then we're going to have some really good discussion about the book. Here we go. Owen.
I can't see.
Owen had a fuzzy yellow blanket. He'd had it since he was a baby. He loved it with all of his heart. Fuzzy goes where I go, said Owen. And Fuzzy did. Upstairs, downstairs, in between. Inside, outside, upside down. Fuzzy likes what I like, said Owen. And Fuzzy did. Orange juice, grape juice, chocolate milk, ice cream, peanut butter, applesauce cake. he getting a little old to be carrying that thing around? Asked Mrs. Tweezers. Haven't you heard of the blanket fairy? Owen's parents hadn't. Mrs. Tweezers filled them in. That night, Owen's parents told Owen to put Fuzzy under his pillow. In the morning, Fuzzy would be gone, but the blanket fairy would leave an absolutely wonderful, positively perfect, especially terrific big boy gift in its place. Owen stuffed Fuzzy inside his pajama pants and went to sleep. No blanket fairy, said Owen in the morning. No kidding, said Owen's mother. No wonder, said Owen's father. See Owen with the blanket in his pants. Fuzzy's dirty, said Owen's mother. Fuzzy's torn and ratty, said Owen's father. No, said Owen. Fuzzy is perfect. And Fuzzy was. Fuzzy played Captain Plunger with Owen. Fuzzy helped Owen become invisible. Bet you can't see me. And Fuzzy was essential when it came to nail clippings and haircuts and trips to the dentist. Can't be a baby forever, said Mrs. Tweezers. Haven't you heard of the vinegar trick? Owen's parents hadn't. Mrs. Tweezers filled them in. When Owen wasn't looking, his father dipped Owen's favorite corner of Fuzzy into a jar of vinegar. Owen sniffed it and smelled it and sniffed it. He picked a new favorite corner. Then he rubbed the smelly corner all around his sandbox, buried it in the garden, and dug it up again. Good as new, said Owen. Fuzzy wasn't very fuzzy anymore, but Owen didn't mind. He carried it and wore it and dragged it. He sucked it and hugged it and twisted it. What are we going to do? Said Owen's mother. School is starting soon, said Owen's father. Can't bring a blanket to school, said Mrs. Tweezers. Haven't you heard of saying no? Owen's parents hadn't. Mrs. Tweezers filled them in. I have to bring Fuzzy to school, said Owen. No, said Owen's mother. No, said Owen's father. Owen buried his face in Fuzzy. He started to cry and would not stop. Don't worry, said Owen's mother. It'll be all right, said Owen's father. And then suddenly Owen's mother said, I have an idea. It was an absolutely wonderful, positively perfect, especially terrific idea. First she snipped, and then she sewed. Then she snipped again and sewed some more. Snip, 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 sew, sew, sew. Dry your eyes, wipe your nose. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Now Owen carries one of his not so fuzzy handkerchiefs with him wherever he goes. And Mrs. Tweezers doesn't say a thing. Check out what she's holding. All right, so now we're going to discuss the book. So, Elliot and Alexander, I have some questions for you guys. And everybody out there, some questions for you to think about. So, who is the blanket fairy? Yeah.
Basically the tooth fairy, but for blankets.
Right. Any other kind of fairy besides the tooth fairy that visits boys and girls? That's pretty much it, right? So, why did Mrs. Tweezer think the blanket should go? Yeah.
Because she thought blankets were for little kids.
Okay. What about you, Alexander? Why did she think it had to go? What do you think the author chose that name for her? Mrs. Tweezers. Any idea? What are tweezers? What do they do? Yeah.
They get rid of stuff.
They get rid of stuff, right? If I have a little hair that I want to get rid of, I use tweezers to get rid of it. So I wonder if Kevin Hinkes was thinking along those same lines, and he named his character Mrs. Tweezer for that reason. Alexander, why did Owen need the blanket?
Because they really liked it.
Okay. Elliot, what do you think that blanket represented for Owen?
His best friend, basically.
Ooh, his best friend. Maybe some security. When he had that blanket, he felt safe. He felt secure. So you have your treasured objects here. Do these help you feel safe and secure, guys?
Yummy. Kind of.
Kind of. Maybe some are just for fun. All right. Why did Owen's parents think it was important for him to give up his blanket?
Same reason the same reason that Mrs. Tweezers thought.
Which was what?
Because blankets were for little kids. They
Maybe they thought blankets were for little kids. Do you think maybe they didn't have such a problem with it, but when they heard Mrs. Tweezers did, they kind of thought, oh, this is no good. Owen's going to go to school, and he's getting a little too old for this. What was his mom's idea? Alexander, what did his mom do with the blanket?
Cut it into little pieces.
Ooh.
Turned it into handkerchiefs.
Turned it into handkerchiefs for him. So, all right?
Yeah.
Okay. How did Owen's parents value his feelings? Elliot, how'd they value his feelings?
I don't know.
What do you think, Alexander?
Plus the 7 for what?
How did Owen's parents value his feelings?
What does that mean?
It means like instead of saying to Owen, I'm just going to take it and throw it in the garbage. I don't care. Right. I don't care about how you feel about this blanket. How did they value? How did they take his feelings into consideration?
Turn it into long pieces.
Yeah, right? So Mom came up with this genius idea so he could still have the blanket, but use it in a slightly different way. What do you think would have happened if they just took the blanket completely away? Yeah.
He would be really sad.
Yeah. I think he'd be really sad. That sense of security was gone. Something he treasured and he had loved for a long time would be gone. So we have 10 minutes before we get into our Women's History Month. So what we're going to do is for the next 10 minutes, if you would like to keep talking about Owen, which Alexander's looking at right now, the book Owen or some other Kevin Hinkes books. He has some great ones like Lily's Plastic Purse, Chrysanthemum. And so if you would like to check out one of his other books, I'm sure you can find them online. Or maybe write down some sentences to respond to your thoughts on Owen. Maybe you have a different idea what his parents could have done with that blanket and to solve that problem. So I will be back 10 minutes from now to introduce you to the woman for today. All right, see you in just a bit.
Hi.
Hey guys, so glad you're back to join us for possibly the best part of the day. Although, who knows, maybe there is more fantastic stuff to come. Hold on one second. Yeah. So it is Women's History Month throughout the month of March. And my plan is every day to introduce you to one of these fabulous women, maybe a girl as well, because young people do amazing things. And what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce you to this woman, and we're going to talk about her contributions to the world. So let's get to it.
Yeah.
Before I tell you about this trailblazer, I have a couple of questions. Let's kind of get our background knowledge going here. First, does anyone know what is deforestation? If you or your children know, go ahead and type it in the chat. What's deforestation? Yeah, Elliot.
Cutting down forests.
Cutting down forest, cutting down trees. All right, that's deforestation. So, why are trees so important to us?